Hi students, welcome to this class. Water is one of our basic needs. It is essential for the existence and survival of living things. We use water for drinking, bathing, washing, cleaning, and many other purposes. Plants require water to produce food. Seeds require water to germinate. Animals also require water to stay alive. It would be wrong to say that there would be no life on earth without water. So today's class, let's discuss about the lesson number 14, water. First of all, let's see how much water we use every day. In a family, for drinking, 12 liters of water, for brushing, 8 liters of water, for bathing, 100, washing utensils 45 liters, washing clothes 120 liters, toilet uses 80 liters, cleaning floor 60 liters, and any other gardening and washing your car or any other purpose 50 liters. On the whole, total we are using 475 liters. See, each of us may be getting water into our homes in different ways. But finally, all of us get water from the same sources. So let's see from where do we get water. Before that, you think of the uses of water. You know that the water plays an important role in human body which are very much useful. Means it regulates the body temperature, it transports oxygen and other things. See, we use for our washing, cleaning the vegetables, drinking, and irrigation purpose. That means agriculture, industries, and to generate electricity we use. Then it is used for transportation, used to clean toilets, streets. Water is used to extinguish fires. Like that, many we can say. Now, this water we get from different sources. First of all, we get water from well, tube well, hand pump, river, lake, stream, ocean. All these are the sources of water. So how this water is available in the nature? The rainwater is the main source of rain is the main source of water. It is the purest form of natural water but becomes impure while falling down as it mixes with the dust particles. And we have seen rivers, lakes, sea water, and underground water, all this, the water is there. So, how we will get this water? How clouds are formed? Let's see. You have learnt in chapter 7 that the plants need water to grow. The plants use a part of this water to prepare their food and retain some of it in their different parts. So there, the water vapor enters the air through the process of evaporation and transpiration. So like that, the plants evaporate water. And the next one you can say, the plants the water evaporated from the water reservoirs, like means the river, lake, sea, from all these sources. Also, when during the daytime sunlight falls on the water, the fields and other land areas also receive sunlight. As a result, water from all these places continuously changes into vapor. So the process of changing water to water vapor is called evaporation. So this warm air provides heat for evaporation of water in the shade. Thus, evaporation takes place from all open surfaces of water. As a result, water vapor gets continuously added to air. However, evaporation of water is a slow process. That's why we rarely notice its loss from a bucket full of water. In sunlight, evaporation takes place faster. On heating water on a burner, its evaporation takes place even faster. Is there any other process through which water vapor gets transferred into air? Yes, already we have discussed the process of transpiration. Then now, let's see what is meant by condensation. Take a glass half filled with water, wipe the glass from the outside with a clean piece of cloth, add some ice into the water, wait for 1 or more minutes. From where do you can see some water droplets outside the glasses. From where do water drops appear on the outer side of the glass? The cold surface of the glass containing iced water cools the air around it, and the water vapor of the air condenses on the surface of the glass. We notice this process of condensation in chapter 5 also. So, the process of condensation plays an important role in bringing water back to the surface of the earth. How does it happen? As we go higher from the surface of the earth, it gets cool. When the air moves up, it gets cooler and cooler. At sufficient height, the air becomes so cool that the water vapor present in it condenses to form tiny drops of water called water droplets. It is these tiny droplets that remain floating in air and appear to us as clouds. It so happens that many droplets of water come together to form large sized drops of water. Some drops of water become so heavy that they begin to fall. These falling water drops are called rain. Thus, water in the form of the water vapor goes into air by evaporation and transpiration, forms clouds, and then comes back to the ground as rain, hail, or snow. Now, when the rain falls, the rainwater also fills up the lakes and ponds. A part of the rainwater gets absorbed by the ground and seems to disappear in the soil. Some of this water is brought back to the air by the process of evaporation and transpiration. The rest seeps to the ground. Most of this water becomes available to us as groundwater. So, this cyclic form of evaporation, condensation, precipitation is called water cycle. So the first one, the evaporation took place, then transpiration, then it condenses into drops of water and cloud formation, and from the cloud the rain falls. When the cloud become big and heavy, they fall as rain, that you know. Now, when the water flows down, when the rainwater flows down, some water is absorbed, so it collected as the groundwater. But some, they cannot be absorbed by the soil because they are the few areas where most of the land is covered with concrete. This reduces the seepage of rainwater into the ground, which ultimately affects the availability of the groundwater. We now know that water brought back to the surface of the earth by rain, hail, or snow goes back to oceans. Thus, water from the ocean and surface of the earth goes into air as vapor, returns as rain, hail, or snow, and finally goes back to the ocean. The circulation of water in this manner is known as the water cycle. Now, what will happen if rains heavily? If rains heavily, In some parts of the world, it rains throughout the year, while there are places where it rains only for few days. In our country, most of the rainfall occurs during the monsoon season. Rains bring relief, especially after hot summer days. However, excess of rainfall may lead to many problems. Heavy rains may lead to rise in the level of water in rivers, lakes, and ponds. The water may then spread over large areas, causing flood. So, what is meant by flood? Flood means the area will be submerged with water. So, what will happen? Because of the flood, the trees will be uprooted. They damage the homes and vehicles, destroy crops, and leads to shortage of food. The drowns cattle and human beings, leads to shortage of drinking water and food, and afterwards they spread disease also. Now, what happens if it does not rain for a long time? If it does not rain for a long time, the soil continues to lose water by evaporation and transpiration. Since it is not being brought back by rain, the soil becomes dry. The level of water in ponds and wells of the region goes down, and some of them may even dry up. The groundwater may also become scarce. Means the soil become hard, no plants will be grown, so there will be no food. So in drought condition, this condition is called drought. The drought condition, it is difficult to get food and fodder. What happens to the animals and the vegetation to these conditions? Because since they do not get food and water, they dry up. So what we should do? We should take steps to conserve water. So how we can conserve water? The first step is we can conserve water by various techniques. That is, we can build dams to store water so that this water can be used later. The second one is called the rainwater harvesting. The one way of increasing the availability of water is to collect rainwater and store it for later use. Collecting rainwater in this way is called rainwater harvesting. This basic idea behind rainwater harvesting is catch water where it falls. What happens to the rainwater that falls in places that are mostly covered with concrete roads and buildings? It flows into the drains, isn't it? From there, the water goes to rivers or lakes which could be far away. A lot of effort will then be required to get this water back to our homes as the water did not seep into the ground. So there are two techniques are followed. One is rooftop rainwater harvesting. That means the rainwater is collected on the rooftops and then it is collected and stored in the underground tank. Another option is to allow water to go into the ground directly so that the water can be stored in the as groundwater. Now the next one, we should not dirty water. That means avoiding dirtying of water. So the first one, rainwater harvesting. Second one, that stored water. The water which is stored in the dams can be used later. That means the reuse of water. Means wastewater can be used, treated, and then it can be used. The next one, avoid dirtying of water. And the next one, avoiding wastage of water. We should not waste water. And this different activity shows that how we are wasting water. For brushing teeth, for bathing, for watering the plants. So we should take the limited water and then it can be used wisely. So that we can save water for future. So here in this lesson you have studied what is meant by, what are the main uses of water, how the water is, the rain is formed in the water cycle. In the water cycle, different steps, that is evaporation, condensation, precipitation, you have studied. And then the loss of water, that means that if it is not raining for a long time, then what will happen? If it rains for more, then what will happen? All those things you have discussed. And then we have how to conserve water, that also we have discussed. So read the lesson and you can do the objectives. Thank you.